Cool. Hi, my name's Andy from Selden, and I'm here with
Seb from Harbr.
Cool. Well, so Seb is Chief Data Scientist at Harbr, which is an exciting startup based in the Rise building in Shoreditch. That's where Selden is based as well. And the intention for the video today is to give you insights into, I guess, the world of a Chief Data Scientist, and cast our mind forward as to looking at how the role of the Chief Data Scientist might change in 5 years, but also look at the immediate problems of data availability and how that kind of feeds into the data ecosystem that enterprise is trying to build. So I mean, to start off, in terms of Harbr, what do you guys actually do? Like, what problems are you guys trying to solve?
So the problem that Harbr is trying to solve is fundamentally data availability, as Andy said. So most of the company, both the co-founders and senior members, have all worked in large enterprises across either financial institutions or telcos and other large companies, which have got huge amounts of data assets, but a lot of legacy IT systems and processes and cultures as well. So what Harbr fundamentally provides is a platform and an ecosystem that allows people to publish data products, fully formed data products from those assets, consider them as assets, and then distribute them around their organisation or between organisations in a fully secure and collaborative method. Mechanism. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So what is an example of a data product?
So an example of a data product is fundamentally something that is very granular. So it can be at a more raw data level than what you'd often see in the open data space now, where things are often pre-aggregated to a specific use case, which maybe isn't useful for most people. But at the same time is designed to drive particular insight and have particular value. So a good example might be a telco, for example. They don't need to share they don't need to produce their individual level location data to have a valuable data product. If they were to take en masse their location data, their knowledge of devices and usage patterns, they could have seen the development of Silicon Roundabout and Shoreditch from their changes in user behaviour. Now, if they build that as a product which they can then put onto the market, that's got value for people like property developers, government planning organisations, and that type of thing.
I see.
So it's
I love that.
It's going from raw data, which is very valuable but needs a lot of work, to a specific product that you then deploy for a particular reason.
That's really good. I mean, that is really good predictive insight right there. So are you seeing this kind of like product offering being accepted or taken most seriously in certain sectors? So for example, there are like well-defined AI use cases which are, call it low-hanging fruit. So what would you say the low-hanging fruit or the most receptive verticals are in your sector?
So I think there certainly are some areas which are more advanced than others. So telcos are a very good example. They've got a very kind of monetizable product, or potentially monetizable products there. At the same time, we're seeing lots of uptake in other areas. Financial services are a key one, and it's not just necessarily for producing products for external consumption, but actually doing the same process but internally within your own organisation as well. And so particularly financial services, there's a lot of legacy IT. There's a lot of systems which, for very good reasons, you can't just access and start doing analytics on. So sort of having the idea of an internal data product that allows you to then better utilise your data inside your organisation and with your own internal professionals.
Okay. That's awesome. So I can really see the fit, and I can really see why this is going to be big. And it's not should you do it? It's like you must do it. It's just a question of how and who with. In terms of like, have you got any examples of like KPIs, or ROI which you could maybe like calculate, because it does sound in some ways quite complex as well?
So one of the big areas that we see initial savings in is essentially the fact that our platform is no operations. So whilst there is obviously an initial bit of effort to put the data products together and publish them into the ecosystem, once they go into the ecosystem, you then don't have any overheads or operations on a day-to-day basis. And additionally, what the platform allows users to do is build derivatives of one or multiple products and sort of build them together and then republish that on. And that publish process is done once the user runs through it and defines it, then you just simply leave it, the system continues to maintain it. So we get a lot of ROIs there in terms of reducing overhead, going sort of no operations. Similarly, the platform or the approach that you should use for this type of thing is cloud-based and ephemeral as well.
Right.
So you get all of those sorts of saves and extendability without needing to do it that way.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of on the internal side. I guess the key performance indicator for us over time is that organizations that don't currently generate revenue streams from their own data insights are starting to do that, and that's kind of what we're working through with our early adopter clients, some of whom have got specific targets within their management teams to start generating revenue from these sources, and they see us as a really good channel for distributing that insight.
That's really good. Yeah, so it's not just augmenting what people do already on products that are already live and in production. This is actually creating new products, publishing new products and pushing out new offerings into the marketplace through better prediction and stuff you wouldn't have even thought about before. So that's really cool.
And what it also allows you to do there is sort of collaborate at the raw data level, potentially with people from outside your organization as well. So in a very, very secure way, in where you're never sending your data outside, at the same time you're never bringing another organization inside your firewall. You can set up these collaborative environments to build insight with your own teams and with external teams such as yourselves who've got specific capabilities that aren't available elsewhere on the market.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, so in terms of ROI, often it's you're going to save 12 to 18 months, 24 months of development time. You're going to save 7 full-time engineers of salaries, as well as all of the other benefits of getting the new stuff out the door. I just want to just in the last 3 minutes just take a step back, and if we look at the role of as chief data scientists in businesses, their role becomes more prevalent. And what I'm noticing is they're starting off as technical people, but they're actually moving much more to much more overarching business managers and commercial leaders. Can you talk me through do you think the role of the data scientist is going to change much and evolve in the next 5 years?
I think it will do, and I think it depends a lot on how data scientists are currently set up inside organisations. So the most effective data scientists are, in my experience, kind of sat on the business side and given a mandate to drive change inside the organisations. Other organisations have set data scientists up either in sort of analytics silos or in kind of more of the IT side of things, and that can be more difficult to drive the change. So I completely agree that I think the chief data scientist role is one to keep that finger on the pulse of the market, understand the developments which are coming along and the new technologies which should be being brought to bear. But increasingly it's also about understanding and being able to communicate with the wider business community, where the benefits are to be had, how to go about them, and how to use the company's data assets, because some of these large companies have got better data assets than anyone in the world, even the big tech companies, if they were used in the right way, and really help driving that kind of data-driven culture into the business side of the organisation as well. And a lot of that is around having the kind of the tooling and the infrastructure and the ecosystems to then realise those benefits without huge amounts of overhead in achieving it. The last thing you want is your data scientists to ultimately become IT project managers, which is often what happens after the initial prototype phase of a project these days. We totally see that. Data scientists are getting dragged into DevOps, or the DevOps guys are building a bit of infrastructure over here to solve an immediate problem, a bit over here. Their workload's getting duplicated. They just want something easier to maintain and manage, but whilst enabling much more people much more effectively. And it sounds like you guys are actually totally solving that problem. So I'm really glad we managed to get Seb on here. I've been trying to get him on the camera for a while. Really appreciate your time, Seb. No problem at all.
And look out for the next video. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.